Welcome to Inspired Living with Keri Murphy, the podcast, where as your host each and every week, I am going to inspire you and empower you to share your message and step into that big vision you see for yourself. I'll be bringing you celebrity interviews, influencer insights, and my personal tips from decades as an on-camera talent, TV host, media expert, and entrepreneur, so you can build a brilliant seven-figure brand. Because when you're inspired, you inspire others. So let's go. And welcome back to Inspired Living TV, where we inspire lives and empower entrepreneurs. And talk about empowering. Like right now, I'm talking so much about money because I want you to make it. I want us to make it. I want the economy to continue to grow. And it really is possible through these times for you to grow and scale your business. As someone who's been an entrepreneur for over 2 decades, I have seen great highs and I have seen dismal lows. And what I'm going to share with you in today's video is really going to help you decide on what steps you need to take in your business right now to take it from 0 to 6 figures or 6 figures to 7. Now, those are big jumps. I understand that. But what I've learned over the years is all about implementation. What gets you to 6 figures is usually passion, grit, tenacity, going big, never going home, and working really, really hard in your business. My first year of Inspired Living, we hit 6 figures because I didn't know better. I was just out there speaking, doing my thing, and we were growing. But what gets you to 6 figures doesn't get you to 250, doesn't get you to 500, and certainly doesn't get you to $1 million. So my hope for you today is that what I share with you, no matter where you're at on the financial trajectory of your business, can infuse some inspiration and to-dos so you can continue to grow and scale right now. So when people come to me, they are usually in a place where they are trading time for dollars. They own a job. They don't own a business. They moved from technician working for someone else into technician in running their business. They're not a trained CEO and they're working really hard trying to do all things. I have that t-shirt. I have been there. I have done that from my first business in my 20s to my third business in my 40s. I get it. But if you really want to grow, if you want to scale, you cannot keep trading time for dollars. You can't, because you only have so much time in the day, and no matter how much you charge, no matter how amazing you are, there's only so many zeros you could put at the end of a 24-hour period. So the number one piece of advice I have for you is learn to leverage. Aha, one of my favorite words, leverage. Take what you do, whether it is a product-based business or a service-based business, and help people acquire that product or service in different ways. What does that mean? It could mean instead of selling one mascara, of course I'm thinking beauty because I have a beauty line, you sell a kit. Right? That's leverage. I'm not trading one thing for one thing, right? I'm creating a kit. You can have a subscription service. You can have a membership site. There's so many things that you can do in the product space. My specialty is more in the service space. So I think about online products, webinars, digital downloads, PDFs, group programs, mastermind groups. Take what someone would pay you to do, time for dollars, and create more of a leverage way to offer that content. Again, it might be a group training. It might be a high-end mastermind group. It might be an online course. There are ways for you to take what you're really good at and teach others how to do it where it doesn't take more of your time. Why not rinse and repeat your knowledge without it taking more effort for you? Now, whoever says, creating an online course is the easiest thing on the planet is smoking something. But what I will tell you is that once you do it once, it's evergreen, right? I've had an online course, my IL Academy, that I've had for years that has created multiple 6 figures to my bottom line, because once I built it, I just have to update it, but I don't have to touch it very often. Does that make sense? So learn to leverage your skill, leverage your products, and leverage your time. Your time is the most important thing you own. Right? It is something you will never get back. And so understanding how to really utilize it can easily create multiple revenue streams and wealth to your business. The second thing is learn to love your numbers. I remember when I had my second business, it was a modeling and talent agency. And I remember waking up in the morning, looking at the bank account, going, money's still there, I'm okay, right? And then we had the 2008 recession. And I remember, like yesterday, looking at my phone, looking at the bank account, going, those numbers I'm not liking as much. As a CEO, as someone who wants to grow a seven-figure business, you need to learn to love your numbers, understand your numbers, have a budget, have a pro forma, understand your cost of goods. Just because you have money in the account doesn't mean you're making money. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean you're profitable, right? And at the end of the day, we don't want a business that just creates money. We want to have a business that creates wealth and creates profit. At Inspired Living, we are so committed to helping you become a social entrepreneur. That is an entrepreneur who does great and puts it back into the world, who generates wealth and really lives an inspired life. But how do you do that when you don't understand your numbers? And I get it, because this was me when it came to numbers for a very long time. Learn to love them, understand them, hire someone to help you work through them. Please don't try to do your bookkeeping on your own. Oh, that might get you to 6 figures. That will not get you to 7. Hire a great accountant. Have a good tax strategy. Like, you got to start looking at your business as a CEO instead of a technician. The third tip to take your business from 6 to 7 figures is invest in a coach that can get you there. We don't know how to get to a destination we've never been. And yes, you might have gotten to 6 figures and you're like, this is amazing, I want to continue to grow. Just so you know, more money, more problems sometimes, right? So you're going to hit obstacles in your business. You're going to start to question, well, do I invest in this or do I invest in this? Do I hire this team member or do I invest in social media? Like, what do I do? You need to have someone in your circle that can guide you and help you making decisions on a map that they have been on. I cannot stand it when I see people selling the map. What does that mean? It means people are selling a destination they've never been. Like, yeah, I can get you to 6 figures. I've never made it, but I took a webinar. I promise you we will never do that, all right? So if you want to get to 6 figures, or 7 figures, hire a coach that has been there before you, that can help you, navigate the obstacles and help you make those vital decisions that will help you scale and grow. I can promise you this, I would not be here without a coach or a mentor. And as I continue to grow, it is the number one thing I continue to look at is who do I need next to continue to build out the brilliant Inspired Living brand. And that takes me to the next step, which is actually hiring team. Once you know what it is that you want to do, maybe at 6 figures you've had a part-time assistant, maybe you've had a contractor or a virtual assistant, which is amazing. I still have virtual assistants on my team. But at some point, you need to invest in employees. You need to invest in people that hold your vision like it's their own. And you can't do that with independent contractors. Now, I've done both. I've had a team of contractors and I've had a team of employees. We're a little bit of both right now. But what I will tell you is that to have people believe in your mission like it's their own, they really embrace your values, they love your clients, they breathe the juice that you're drinking. Those are the people that you want. And often we can't find those people when we're hiring part-time VAs or we're hiring people on Upwork or Fiverr. Like, in order for people to invest in you, you need to invest in them. Invest in your team. One of the things that I have learned, that I continue to learn over and over again, is that I'm only as great as the people I surround myself with. And I'm always looking at who I want to be next, who I want to learn from next. And that doesn't always mean a coach or a mentor, but my peers. Like, who am I surrounding myself with? Where am I hanging out? Where am I spending my time? Over the last couple of years, I've had the incredible opportunity to mastermind with other women that were 7- and 8-figure business owners. And I'm telling you what, that was incredible to sit at that table with them and talk strategy and team and what works and what doesn't work and family and husbands and life. Oh my, right? But to have a peer group that lifts you up on the bad days, that says you can do this, and that also celebrates with you. I feel like once you get past maybe 6 figures, you get into 250 or $500,000, it's hard to find a peer group to celebrate with you who really understands the great wins and the great losses. Like to say, ooh, I just spent 20 grand and that did not work out for me. Or, oh my God, I just had my first $100,000 month. I mean, who do you call when you have that? Right? So your circle of peers, you have to broaden. You have to get them so they celebrate with you and they walk you through the tough times so you know you are not completely crazy. And the last tip I want to share with you as you're building your multi-6 and 7-figure brand is that brand. Do you know what your brand really stands for? At 6 figures, you might have a great logo. You know, it's been you that's been driving the business and people love you. But what's beyond you? What does the brand stand for when you're not on camera? When you're not sharing your message? What do I feel every time I go to your site or I see your social? That is brand consistency. And in order for you to scale and grow, your brand has to make someone feel something. It has to create some sort of emotion. Because at the end of the day, emotion is not just what causes us to buy, it causes us to connect. So brand consistency and congruency is extremely vital at this point of your business. You can't just put up a Canva quote anytime you think about it anymore. You have to be more strategic with your brand. You have to have a calendar. You have to understand your messaging. You have to understand more intimately your ideal client and how you're serving them on a regular basis. So how does your brand make people feel? And how are you making that a touch point every time they come in connection with you? So those, my friend, is my tips on how to grow from 6 figures to 7 figures. I'm telling you, it is a marathon, not a sprint. If you put these things into practice, I can promise you, you will continue to grow this year. There's no doubt about it. If you keep trying to do it on your own, just based off of pure grit and determination, you'll get to a place where you will burn out. You'll hit a ceiling simply because you don't know what steps to take next. Hire a team, get a great coach and mentor. Really look at your circle of influence, your peer group. Understand leverage, brand consistency and congruency, and be committed to helping more people. At Inspired Living, we want you to create wealth, but we don't focus on money. We focus on service because we know the more you serve, the more you make. So that is how you scale and grow your business. Now, I would love to hear from you. Where are you at right now in your business? Are you implementing these things? Do you want $1 million business? And if you do, tell me why. So if I can help you, I will. I would love to. So post your comments, and if you are inspired, and I really hope you are because this is very possible for you, I want you to take a moment and share this video with a friend, because when you are inspired, you inspire others. And that is what we need more of right now. As always, thank you so much for watching. I care so much about you and want you to have incredible success, not just today, but for the next, decade in your business. And you need to create the systems and the structure that can help you get there. As always, remember to keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.
You've just heard another uplifting episode of Inspired Living with Keri Murphy, the podcast. I hope you loved it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. And if you'd like to know more about Inspired Living or to get your hands on many of our awesome free resources, such as the Be Studio Ready Guide, simply visit us at inspiredliving.tv/podcast. Remember, your vision is your destiny, and we're here to help you bring it to life. Join me again next week for another extraordinary episode.